All right, yeah. My name's Jimmy Warner. I've been building guitars for about 10 years. My company is Nautilus Guitars. I've been doing it since, started messing around with guitars when I was about 14 years old, tearing them apart, rebuilding them, stuff like that. Built my first guitar when I was 16. Got the neck from a local music store, ended up getting kind of ripped off on it and decided, maybe I should just do this all from scratch, do it myself so I can trust where it's coming from. And just kind of went from there. My uncle owned a woodworking shop, so I had, I was able to use the tools and stuff like that. And he helped me do that stuff, and a bunch of my family were into woodworking, so I got lucky. I was able to get tools, machinery and stuff like that for a really good deal, and kind of just slowly built it up and slowly started doing it myself. It was really a hobby for the first 10 years or so, and I started doing work for professional musicians in the area, and a guy, Adam Lax, he kind of told me, why aren't you doing this full time? And I thought to myself, yeah, I should be. So kind of went from there, started doing it more and more, and about 5 years ago started building professionally for other people, for customers and stuff like that, and just kind of been going from there. So yeah.
Love the smell of that.
I like to use a lot of hand tools, like I use a lot of block planes, bench planes, chisels. I love the spoke shaves and drawing knives and stuff like that for carving necks. Creates a lot less dust. It makes it a lot cleaner to work when you're using that kind of stuff. So I like it. You got to learn how to sharpen it and everything like that. If they're not nice and sharp, you hate using them. And so it takes you a long time to get used to using that kind of stuff. But I use some machinery, bandsaw, joiner, router, stuff like that for the heftier jobs where I'd save some time doing it. And yeah.
And your tools look pretty old.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
A lot of the tools I got from family, thrift stores, things like that. The old tools, they're not made like like they used to make them. When you get the old tools, the steel's better, they stay true longer, stuff like that. Now some of the stuff's newer, like I got the Stanley here, that's a little bit newer. But I try to score the old stuff when I can find it because it's just a lot better quality build quality of it's really nice. So it's a lot more rewarding. It's just using the hand tools, and when you learn to use them right, it's a lot more efficient and a lot cleaner than using machinery, and a lot quieter too. You're not killing yourself with all the machinery and stuff like that. So yeah, I just kind of, and a lot of my family, older guys that used all the hand tools for like a lot of the stuff, so I kind of got into that, and they kind of showed me what to do. And like I said, it took a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, there's nothing like it. I mean, they're just so much better, so much more satisfying to use a drawing knife or a sharp chisel. I mean, with a really sharp chisel, you can cut wood like butter, and it's very satisfying. Yeah.
So, do a lot of clients come to you just because of that reason? Since you really kind of take your time on each instrument, using your hands and using them a lot more in depth with the instruments?
Yeah, I think people like that because it's more, you're more intimate with the instrument. I think they know that when you're, as opposed to going to a place and getting CNC cut, and everything's just Lego blocks and you just put them together. And I don't really call that a custom guitar.
Like build your own kit type
Yeah,
of
exactly.
thing?
You can,
pieces
yeah,
and assemble?
yeah, exactly. And that there's no soul in that. You get all these pieces, they're pre-made. You didn't make them. You just kind of put them together and spray some finish on them, and it's not the same thing as getting a raw block of wood and people can see you got this just block of wood and you're cutting it out yourself. You're doing all the work yourself, and you get a feel for the instrument that way, and it kind of puts you more in touch with what you're building. I forget the guy's name who he apprenticed under, but it was in Germany.
You said C.F. Martin?
Yeah, C.F. Martin. Yep. And I want to say Schumer was the guy's name, but he had the crazy headstock with a curl on it and stuff, and that's what you actually see in the fenders. It's kind of a fender headstock's kind of a homage to that.
Oh, right.
That's kind of where they got the idea of the guy's headstock was kind of like that, acoustic instruments. And I wish I could think of his name. But that's who C.F. Martin apprenticed under. And he had a different bracing style than what we use in guitars today. That would be more of what you see on a classical instrument, which would be where from the bridge plate instead of having this X brace and instead of having these transverse braces, it would have braces running along. We call it fan bracing. You'd have like one here, there, like a fan pattern, fanned out.
Right.
And Martin, he invented the X bracing, and like completely changed the sound of the instrument. And he did the headstock with 3-on-3, with the tuners 3 on each side instead. And that's why we have the modern guitar with this kind of bracing, because you really can't improve on it much. You can shave it differently and do different things, build it lighter. There's definitely ways to improve it, but only small ways. When it comes to the whole entire layout, there's really nothing else that works as good for a steel string guitar. So.
What was the first instrument that you built, and what style? And
the first one I built was, I actually, what I would do is I would sit in school, and I'd sit there with my notepad drawing guitars, and the teacher come over and slap my hand, and you need to be doing your homework. And I had a bunch of designs I had on my notepad in school and stuff, and I had this one particular design. It was a really unique mix between a few different styles, but it was really different. Now I look at it and I hate it, but it was an idea, and that was the first one where I really built the guitar. I only did the body on that one, and I actually have that one here somewhere. But yeah, I built the body on that. That was the first one I did. It was an electric guitar, and that's where I got that neck that turned out to be fake. Paid about $400 for it. It turned out to be a fake neck, so a fender neck, and that's kind of what made me think, oh, I need to do this myself.
Is that when, because you're pretty in depth with the type of wood you use, the type of material that you use for your projects and your instruments, is that where you started just kind of digging in depth and figuring out what works best where, what kind of wood works best where? Yeah,
different. Now, see, it's different with the electric guitar, because I always thought tone wood was a big thing. You've always heard that. Everyone thinks that different guitars with different woods when it comes to electric guitar are different. But now that's where I did start thinking about different tone woods and things like that. Now, where I'm at now, there's been a lot of research into that, and with electric guitars, it's not as big of a deal. So when I'm building an electric, my focus is on like the workability and durability of the wood, and looks, obviously. There's so many cool different types of wood out there. I'll do paint and stuff like that, but I'd rather showcase the wood. There's so much that you can work with, and from so many different places, and they're all different. They all got their own character to them, so that's really cool. Now with acoustics, the wood has a big effect on the tone. So.
And I noticed being around here that you like to do like tone tapping. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
In a sense?
Yep.
And be able to kind of have like an octave on the back.
Yeah. See. Yep. So the back of an acoustic guitar, the back will be around a fifth higher pitch, and then the top will be like a lower pitch, and it's a lot to explain, but it lets the top resonate more freely, and the back kind of reflects that sound. You don't want the back to be absorbing all the sound and vibrating in perfect resonance with the top. You want your back to be thicker and stiffer, and it lets the top act like a speaker cone. So you want a nice light but stiff wood on the top, and then on the back you want it to be really stiff and support the whole top of the guitar like a speaker, like the frame of a speaker basically. So, but then the different woods can also alter the tone of the back of the guitar. If you use a wood like mahogany or maple or koa, you get a brighter sound as opposed to something like rosewood, where rosewood has a really warm, deep sound, kind of harmonically rich sound, and you can use that to really shape the tone of a guitar. That and your bracing patterns and things like that make a big difference. All right, so this is the guitar before the braces are carved. All right, I like building them really light. Get a better tone that way. In my opinion, most guitars are overbuilt. Now putting the arch in these, like tapering these, I forget the exact name for it, it's something parabola, but it's the shape. You get the best strength to weight ratio. You lighten them by doing this, and then you also get the strength of the vertical height of the brace. Okay. This is after the bracing is carved.
So wood can mean a lot. And
Oh yeah.
so where do you buy your wood?
I go out to Keim Lumber in Charm, Ohio. It's just phenomenal. It's one of the few places, I don't know if there's any place around here where you can, they got an exotic woodshed, and it's 4 times the size of my shop. It's a few hundred square feet or more than that probably, and it's just every species you can imagine just stacked everywhere, and it's, I can sit there for 4 hours just looking row by row and just pulling boards out, and that's just great. Well, my favorite part is when I get to put strings on it and get to hear it. But about the construction process, I mean, as for the inspiration, it's kind of draw from what they want to play, and kind of you start to build. Once you do it for so long, you get a catalog in your head of like different approaches you can use, different woods you can use. You talk to the customer, figure out what they want. You know, if someone wants, like for example, one of the guitars I'm building now, it's here. So yeah, so this guy, he plays in a worship group, and there's a lot of people on stage with him. So he wants a guitar that's gonna have a sound that cuts through. You don't want a big boomy guitar that's gonna muddle up the sound with a bunch of guys on stage. You want it to have its own sonic space. So with this guitar, there's a clarity to it that's different from like a dreadnought style guitar, where there's a good balance between the strings. There's a nice balance between like the low end and the high end, but it's got a nice high mid-range definition that's going to sustain and ring through and have its own space in the sonic landscape on stage. So, you can build for like different people's the environment they're going to be playing in. Now if you got a guy who's doing solo country stuff where it's a singer with a guitar, you want a dreadnought, bigger body that's got a lot more bass to it and just louder. This isn't as loud, but it's got a clarity that lets it cut through. And it also depends on the different wood. Now this isn't finished yet, but this is curly koa from Hawaii. It's got a brighter tone to it. It's very, very similar to mahogany, but that kind of you can use that to help adjust the tone. And like I said, you get a catalog in your mind of what different woods will do what.
So do you you seem like you're really all about molding your guitars around the style of the musician. Does that mean a lot to you, instead of just saying, here, I built this guitar, like go out there and play? Absolutely,
yeah. So when I'm building, it's about, you want to get it set to what the person wants. You don't just want to build guitars and then just give them to people and say, hey, here you go, take this and play what you play on it. There's different guitars that work better for different styles, and even each individual wants something different out of it. Even like the playability. Some people like their action high, some people like it low, some people like taller frets, some people like really low frets. When you have someone, when you're building them like on commission like this, you can kind of step by step have people look at things, think about what they want, ask them all these questions. You have time to really, really dig into them, get inside their mind with how they play and what they want from a guitar. And you can ask, what was the most comfortable guitar neck you've ever played, and they can kind of tell you, and you can see what that guitar is and kind of go with that. And then you can mix all these details that they like about all these different guitars and get something that's just tailored like specifically for what they want, how they want to sound, how they want it to feel, what they want it to look like. And it opens up a whole world of differences, rather than if you go to the store, you got to pick one and it might be great and everything like that, but it's not. There's always something that you'd want to change about it, or with this, exactly, yeah, it's a compromise. We're doing it like this, there's no compromise. You can really get every little detail, I mean, down to the finest details, exactly what you want, and it really just fits the person, And I like to get a sense of who they are and incorporate like their personality and the style of the guitar. Like when I'm building it, I'm thinking about who they are and what I know about them, and what I think would reflect them as a person also, So it's kind of a artistic thing, I don't know. It's different. I think the most important thing is getting a good feel for your customer and talking to them. I mean, my customers, I talk to them every single day. I mean, I message like the guy I'm building this for. We talk every single day. I mean, we'll just talk and shoot the crap, and and just get a sense for each other. I'll talk to him about what I'm doing with this, and what kind of frets do you want? What do you like? Things like that. And I just try to like just stay in touch every day, keep in contact, show them pictures the whole time, make them be a part of the process. You know, I don't want them to just say, hey, I want this guitar and I like this wood and I want this kind of neck, and then they give me that and then I go hide away and, you know, oh, here it's done. I want them to see every single day. So to me, the most important thing is making them a part of it. And that helps me understand what they want, and I can alter things as it goes on, and I can get a feel for it and kind of ask them questions, and like they have the authority, the ultimate authority over like what's being done with it. I think that's really, really important that they control the build. I'm the builder, but I'm channeling what they want done and trying to make it about what they want rather than I want to build this way and that's how I'm going to build. Now, if somebody wants something crazy, like they want a picture of Miley Cyrus inlaid in the, I'm going to say, oh, you're going to have to take that to somebody else. That's not what I do. But, you know, I like talking to guys who are really into their craft as musicians and know what they want. That's the funnest part. When you got somebody that really, really knows what they want, you got these strict parameters that you need to stay in, and it brings challenges that make the artistic process a lot more rewarding. You need to reach certain things. You know, you can't, it's not just all left to you. You have limits that you have to work within, and it makes it really fulfilling when you reach those things and it's satisfying to them. But I think it's important to make that the biggest part of it, I think.
Maintenance-wise, do you give them anything?
Yeah. Now, when I build a guitar for a customer, I guarantee them for life. If anything happens to it, I mean, if they break it themselves, it's a different story. But you know, I guarantee my guitars for life, and it's free setup and maintenance for life. So they can come, you know, as often as they want to get it set up, and I'll set it up for free, no charge at all. And then also I give them a discount on, like, say they want different frets or they want to do something like that, or they want some major repairs done. I give like a really good discount on that kind of stuff too. And I'm going to start offering endorsements and things like that, where that'll be a part of it too. If I build somebody an instrument, you know, I'll have them as an endorsee and be able to give them good deals on stuff like that. But that's another big part too, because I want people to know I believe in my instruments. I don't just, when they're done, I don't just give it to them and they take it and leave and have the guitar forever. You know, I want them to be able to come back to me, get the stuff done. I want them to stay in touch and know that if anything ever goes wrong, I'm here and I'll work on it for free, as long as it's nothing major that they did.
Like smashing the guitar on stage.
Yeah. If someone hammers
it
on the ground, then you're going to have to pay me full price for that.
But as a musician, you can save hundreds of dollars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I would recommend, you know, I would recommend a guitar being set up at least twice a year because of seasonal changes, especially in, you know, the Midwest area. It's you get dry season, wet season, it really makes a guitar move, especially in acoustic. So it's best to get it set up at least a couple times. And you're talking over the course of 20 years, say you do it, you know, twice a year, you're thousands of dollars, you know, over the course of, say, 20 years. I'm going to be doing that for free forever. As long as they own the guitar, they can come to me for free. I'll do the setup work. I'll do any of the maintenance work, anything like that, no charge at all. So.